Ando por Miami, paseando en el Ferrari, en busca de party. No falta la mari, ando como un ratafari. Sin ti no vale la vida de millonario. Lo que te dicen de mí es mentira. Ay, no hagas caso, solo vibra. Yo soy tu Tony, tú mi Elvira. Cuando estoy solo mi mente delira. Ay. Me pregunto si estás sola o si me doy otra copa. Siempre estás despierta a esta hora. Creo que voy a llamar ahora. Preguntarle cómo estás. Decirle que no paro de pensar en lo que nos convertimos. ¿Cómo te ha ido? Tú sabes que otra boca no reemplaza tu querer. Y el mío no es casual que me desvele y conteste dejándome en visto. Tú me das el break, vuelvo y te conquisto. Tú me extrañas, las redes lo he visto. Tú me necesitas y te necesito. ¿O no? Quiero una. Repetir aquella noche fue como ninguna. Esta noche otra vez la veo. Aguantarme las ganas no puedo. No sé cómo vaya a pasar, pero sé cómo va a terminar. Es que todavía no puedo explicar lo rica, mami, que tú estás. En un rato otra vez la veo. Aguantarme las ganas no puedo. No sé cómo voy a pasar, pero sé cómo va a terminar. Es que todavía no puedo explicar lo rico, mami, que tú estás. Ya estoy afuera, la veo y todo se me acelera. Mi Lambo pega con tu cartera. Algo mágico pasa cuando estamos tú y yo. Esto es una movie, me siento en LA. Hoy llegamos después de las 6. Yo te deseo y no te voy a dar break. Por ti yo rompo la ley. Yeah. Que sabes tú, te pienso todo el día. Yo me muero por tenerte, ven, porque te me resistes. Si tú me deseas más, se te nota en tu mirada que no quieres que me vaya, baby. En un rato otra vez la veo. Aguantarme las ganas no puedo. No sé cómo voy a pasar, pero sé cómo va a terminar. Es que todavía no puedo explicar lo rico, mami, que tú estás. Mami, chula, estoy al borde de la locura. La máscara de todas las pinturas. Tus besos, todas las penas me curan. Te tengo desnudo. Quieres que eso no tengo duda. Estoy en la curva de tu cintura. Llegó el momento, se acabó la tortura. Que sabes tú, te pienso todo el día. Yo me muero por tenerte, ven, porque te me resistes. Si tú me deseas más, se te nota en tu mirada que no quieres que me vaya, baby. En un rato otra vez la veo. Aguantarme las ganas no puedo. No sé cómo vaya a pasar, pero sé cómo va a terminar. Es que todavía no puedo explicar lo rico, mami, que tú estás. Yeah. Acá, Raúl Alejandro, on Tiny. Yeah. Baby, aquel día la pasamos cabrón. No sé por qué no me volviste a buscar. Yo pensaba que tú estabas en amor, pero solo quería otra noche pasar y perdió. Mi corazón no entendió. Solo fui otro que al diablo su pobre alma vendió. Por una noche de placer y ojalá que por joder nadie te lo haga mejor. Porque cuando tú estabas encima de mí, yo pensaba que sí, pero fui tu fantasma y no te volví a ver, bebé. Yo te vi venir y escuché decir cosas. Cuando tú estabas encima de mí, yo pensaba que sí, pero fui tu fantasma y no te volví a ver, bebé. Yo te vi venir y escuché decir cosas que no olvidaré. Hoy salgo a buscarte, sí, dime que yo le llego a amarte. Canciones tristes, baby, llega a dedicarte. Creí que como un Pokémon iba a cacharte, pero tú tenías otro plan, botellas de champán, y yo te llevo al cielo como Superman. Pero tú eres Satán, fuego dentro un volcán, y dejaste un desastre como un huracán. Pero tus besos son éxtasis, parece cáncer, baby, pero eres Gemini. Y vamos bien como Coca-Cola y Genesis, pero no te amo como Anuel y Karol G. Dime dónde estás que yo te quiero ver, como cuando lo hicimos después de beber. Me diste hilo y me perdí como un alfiler, pero tú eres un error que vuelvo a cometer. ¿Y qué será, baby, del ego? Sabía que me iba a quemar si jugaba con fuego. No solo te quería comer y ojalá que por lo de nadie te lo haga mejor. Porque cuando tú estabas encima de mí, yo pensaba que sí, pero fui tu fantasma y no te volví a ver, bebé. Yo te vi venir y escuché decir cosas. Cuando tú estabas encima de mí, yo pensaba que sí, pero fui tu fantasma y no te volví a ver, bebé. Yo te vi venir y escuché decir cosas que no olvidaré. A veces te veo, a veces no, a veces sí, a veces no, tocándote la cara y mirándote los no. Yo te daría bien rico porque eso está nuevo. Y a veces te veo, a veces no, a veces sí, a veces no, tocándote la cara y mirándote los no. Yo te daría bien rico porque eso está nuevo. Tus pezones un arete, está muy rica, sé que cualquiera no te lo mete. Te lo pongo en el anillo si tú te comprometes, y te abro las piernas como los gabinetes. La suela los tacos rojos y no es 27. Me la aprieto como un grillete, se lo dejé de la mano como un brazalete. Todas tus hermanas, tú eres la Margarete. Sin hacer cardio no me paras de correr, se juntaron los planetillos que te quería ver. Te quiero ver, yo sé que tú quieres, baby, déjate querer. Porque a veces te veo, a veces no, a veces sí, a veces no, tocándote la cara y mirándote los no. Yo te daría bien rico porque eso está nuevo. Y a veces te veo, a veces no, a veces sí, a veces no, tocándote la cara y mirándote los no. Yo te daría bien rico porque eso está nuevo.
Nera, rara vez te vi bien estando con aquel. No lo sé, no me voy a meter, pero te noté algo mentirosa. Cuando te besé sentí que vos sentiste cosas, entonces supe que solo que me da paz, lo que andaba buscando. y esa felicidad que hace que ande sonriendo. Quiero verte feliz, mejor ya al lado de mí. Lo incondicional, como perro a su amo te sigo amando. Solo que me da paz, lo que andaba buscando. Y esa felicidad que hace que ande sonriendo. Quiero verte feliz, mejor ya al lado de mí. Lo incondicional, como perro a su amo te sigo amando. Damas con fama y cama, alta gama y corazón partido. Fono lleno de fans que llaman y solo atiende el mío. Vamos a vernos con frío o calor. Ping y Netflix, voy a entrar. En tono 15 estoy siendo honesto, baby. Nera, rara vez te vi bien, estando con aquel. No lo sé, no me voy a meter, pero te noté algo mentirosa. Cuando te besé sentí que vos sentiste cosas.
What's up, guys? What's up? How's it hanging? What's good? All right. I hope you guys had an amazing weekend. Feeling good. Catching my breath right now. So if I'm breathing heavy, just got done lifting. Did a little run. Hope you guys were able to get it in today too. Otherwise, it's not too late for you. What's up? All right. Good morning. Good morning. Top Step credited me with a win for a loss I took on Friday. Anyone else noticed that on their TS? Starting to like TS more and more. Honestly, I didn't get anything extra. No, sir. Looks like they just love you a little more. What's up? All right, what's good? Lonzo, Harshi. What's up, James? Morning, Patrick, Seth. ¿Qué tal? ¿Cómo estamos, Diego, Alfredo? Got Tio in the house. What up, Noah? Grand Rising, brother. Buenos días a todos. Happy Monday. Morning. Have you looked into more details about funded ticks? Yeah, I bought an account. With them. I don't know if there's any details. Was I supposed to go into something? They look good. I'd say just read the terms and conditions. There's a couple things, depending on what accounts you get, that make a difference. But definitely check it out. It's my first experience with them. I've used funding pips, so I'm chill like that. That's cool with me. No issues there whatsoever. All right, let's dive in. So day 34 of the government shutdown. I think maybe we only have a couple weeks left. I'd say 3 tops, and then this is a wrap. But an account, sick. Morning. Got Denver in here. Okay. All right, question. Can you guys hear the background or nah? Well, I guess it's over now. Let's see here. Close out of a couple things. All right. So I was actually building out a quiz for you guys. In this quiz, you would see it's like 25 questions or so. And then you'll kind of get a good idea of what your strengths and weaknesses are as a trader. Built out a few different resources as well so that it's helpful if you need to work on specific things. So I'll have that available for you guys here soon as well. It's pretty sick. It took a while to do. Built out a whole bunch of different scenarios. But I think it's really good awareness on where you are as a trader. Okay. Now, this week. Hola, ¿qué tal, Dennis? Sounds clear? Sweet. Y'all know that SpongeBob video where Bob was lifting one marshmallows on each side? That's Mike lifting. No chance, bro. Marshmallows is way beyond my PR. I'm more of like maybe a couple jelly beans or something. Great. Perfect. What's up, Argentina? Okay, so this week, it's supposed to be an NFP week. I don't think we're gonna get that, to be honest. It's still tentative, but I don't really see us getting that information. And honestly, I don't know if you guys saw, but they've been just backtracking all of this data. Have you guys noticed that they've gone and they've talked about how, oh, my bad, yeah, those numbers, yeah, those are wrong. We actually were like 300,000 off. Oops. So, yeah, we'll see. But apparently 8 hours ago, I just saw this. Trump said that the government shutdown could be the longest, and he won't be extorted by the Democrats. So who knows? The journey continues. So, yeah, we'll see. Either way, like, we have good news events throughout the week. There's a little bit of everything. I'll start screen sharing here. All right, let's get into it. But let me know in the chat, what are you looking for? What's on your mind? What setups you guys have dialed in? Let me get a good vibe from you guys here. This way we can tackle on certain setups that have urgency. I prioritized getting in the gym this morning, so it's going to be a fresh take on the markets for me. So, yeah, I'm not really in a rush. So just going to respond to whatever we see here. All right. Okay. So just so you guys have an outlook tonight, if you are Asian session traders, take a look at Australian. You do have interest rates and then the press conference. So if there's any good setups, I might be in there. Might be looking for something later in the day, later in the evening. Tomorrow, NZD, you have unemployment rates. Wednesday, a couple high impact news events. I might stream early for this ADP. No promises. And then we'll tackle this one on live together. Thursday, as you can see, back-to-back pound news, interest rates, and then you have Bailey speaking. So that'll be fun for those of you that are going to want to get up a little earlier, that are here in the U.S., or for those of you out in Europe. Definitely a good one to keep your eyes on if the pound might be giving us some solid setups. And then we'll see what happens in NFP. I don't think we're going to get anything there. ISM today. Yep. All right, NZD buys. Cool, we can take a look at that. I noticed we have NQ pushing. And I had this zone marked up, actually, here. I was looking for sells out of here on Friday. Friday was nice. Friday we had original play here. Market went up into profit like 80 points or so. It was more like maybe 70 before it turned back around. But then we caught the lower entry here and then took this for a 5R. So net 4R on the day with NQ here. Honestly, NQ was really profitable last week. So this week I just noticed we had gotten into the zone. I'm not in a short, maybe some of you are, but I'm looking at how Dow Jones is moving as well, and Dow is a little bit less aggressive to the upside, so it's a bit slower pace. I would rather be in shorts with Dow, but let's zoom out a little bit. Lonzo, is NZD like urgent? Is my question for you. Now here's the thing though, with indices, S&P traded down into this gap, so filled some of this gap and then traded upwards. NASDAQ did not. NASDAQ didn't get anywhere near this. This is the gap from Friday the 24th to Sunday the 26th. So Dow, S&P, and Dow played nicely into here before rallying. NQ has not traded near it. So I wouldn't be surprised if we actually end up switching a bit more bearish on NQ for this week. So yes, it's up there right now. And it might even play out of this. So it could play out because of this. We didn't get anywhere near anything here. And I would be surprised if we don't end up trading into this at some point. What the fuck is going on over here? This thing is bugging. All right, here we go. So trading into here somewhere I think is pretty likely to happen. At some point, I think we'll get into here. So we'll see. But right now, current price action, yes, NQ has been ripping since London, and we're seeing Dow moving significantly more slowly towards the upside. However, NQ itself was just really bullish on Friday. So if you look at Dow, it's just trading so differently. So for example, Dow did start to trade above the previous 15-minute high right here. We got above, lost that momentum, got above again. We keep losing these highs. So I would love to get into some shorts, but only if we take out these Asian session highs. So I think we could clear these highs. Maybe we trade into here somewhere later on. But at the same time, things are starting to develop. So look at how we finally took out liquidity on Halloween, right? The 31st here, we clear these lows right there. So this is that last push to the downside. Clean move downwards. This liquidates these lows, trades right into previous structure and imbalance. You guys know I love a structure imbalance fill, especially with exits. Entries a little bit more tricky, but we see that. Now what I want to see, I just want confirmation. I want bullish structure confirmation before anything else. We get that, I'm down for the buy. We have some liquidity here as well. So potential buying opportunities here with Dow Jones. It's just a matter of patience at this point, allowing the market to come to us and seeing what price action gives us. Now looking at how price unfolded from up here Thursday. So Thursday's price action, to get a little bit more detail, we see one nice sweep up here before the market creates imbalance, keeps pushing downwards. So clearly, guys, we have very little demand. The market doesn't really want to trade up here very long. It's a brief price action by the time it comes down. So we can get reversals out of here. And then as it continued to work its way down, it's left in balance. So these are magnets for the market, right? These are inefficiencies. Eventually, the market will come back over here. We just want to keep in mind what's the overall state of indices when the market is approaching these levels. How does it compare to NASDAQ? Is NASDAQ really bullish? Is it maybe not as bullish at the time? That is going to help us make decisions, have clarity on this. For here, if we want to get a bit more detail, could there be another setup for a short? On the way down, we come crashing down. We get a little bit of a pullback. Nothing too, the retraction isn't too deep. I would say still not quite efficient. And we have one push before the market just continued to push down and down and down. So here, I think we can still get to here. This doesn't really convince me enough to look for sells here. We don't really take out too many sellers. It's a pretty minimal exit or push to the upside. If I was in a buy, maybe I would look to exit here, but it's not really enough for me to get into a sell and to place a stop here. That doesn't really give me enough structure. There's no sweep of liquidity. Not enough for me personally. That's kind of what Dow looks like. If we get more So if we can get a bit more stronger price action over here, right over here. If we can just like trade over here, maintain this, then I love this setup over here. This I could be into. So there's kind of two ways to look at this. The downside to this lower area, though, is that we do have equal lows briefly. It kind of creates a double bottom here after about 18 minutes apart. Okay, I'll keep that in mind. I may only approach this with half risk, considering we did have that subtle equal lows. Okay, but now we are at New York Open. Instantly, we're seeing Dow start to crash, NQ still holding up, and then S&P still chilling over here as well. So, okay, now considering that we've had a NASDAQ building up, moving on up here, is there a buy setup anywhere that we could look for over here? All right, this was the from the 31st, the setup here. Now what I can do is I'll just move that so it's easier to see. But we do see it one push down before the market rallied here. So look at this. I'm going to go back to the 1 minute. And we're getting into we're getting the magnifying glass out here. But this here, push down, takes out these lows, gets below. It's 5-6 points or so, but it takes out support. This was just building up support. One last move, and then it ran. So I definitely think we could come back to this at some point. Not that this, by law, needs to be a buy zone. It's almost confirmed. It would only depend on what the indice markets look like if it were to get over here in the future. So if we do, work our way back down overall with indices, depending on how everything looks, I am open to buys here with NQ as well. So what we'll do is let's start getting some setups here lined up. Today is, what's today? The 3rd. 2025. All right, so let's look at some indices. NQ over here. So the buy scenario. All right, so let me write this first, though. Indices. All right, actually, let me do this. My rules. How do I want to write this? When these are just scenarios, please keep in mind that I don't execute these all by law. I do wait for divergence with correlated assets, if just in general. So sometimes, so I'll say just be mindful of that. Okay. I just want to make sure there's no excuses. NQ, so yeah, this is the buy scenario. NQ buy scenario here. That's not the link. Okay. I have that one set. let's zoom out a bit. Is there any sell setups over here? For sells, I mean, there's a little move up here. Tiny. Maybe we can consider this. Let's zoom out. Lonzo, is that NZD play still valid, or do I need to look at that ASAP, or did it leave without me already? Is it too late for me? So we see the sweep of the high, the market comes down, chops right back in. Looks like it's pretty efficient. I think I'd rather stay away from here. BTC coming into buy zone. Okay, perfect. So it's by the zone. All right, cool. I can take a look at that. I don't think I have anything really urgent here. And then YM. S&P crashed into... Ooh, S&P traded closer to here. And then working its way down. Okay. And then we have Dow dropping pretty quickly. So not a fan of taking a buy here. What this could turn into, guys, is this could turn into a possible sell, honestly. You see how we kind of took out some liquidity here into London session before we then started to rally? I could be open to a possible short out of this range up here. If we continue bearish with bearish structure, maybe. So this is not for sure yet. I'm just considering this. We would need confirmation with bearish structure still. So let's see here. I won't post this yet. We'll kind of give it some time. All right, let's look at 6N. So right now, 6A is working its way finally. It's took out liquidity here. So that's what one of the things that we wanted to see was a liquidity sweep. And then it's working its way down, further down into this retracement. 6A did a really good job of sustaining bullish structure. Whereas if we're looking at, okay, the pound is working into that zone, CAD futures still going lower. Euro, I had something here for euro. Okay, euro in a reversal area as well on the higher time frame, playing at an August 1st price action. The yen just chilling, and then 6N. Okay, so 6N. And of course, guys, you don't, obviously, nobody here has to trade like I trade. You guys can do whatever you want. I am not offended. Do whatever makes you money. You know, do whatever you can do consistently that is based out of a system, something that has data. If you have data-driven evidence, dude, trade your game. You know, you don't have to be me. For sure, that's not the only way to be profitable here. So if you found an edge with a certain way that you see the market, things that you've learned, do it. Use it. But also make sure you have enough data, enough sample size where you actually have a proven idea and not just that, oh, it kind of feels like this works. There's a lot of bias that can come just if we're just going off of, our vibes. Just saying. And if you're just too lazy to figure out if your stuff works, then you don't really deserve to get paid anyways. Just keeping it real. Just keeping it real, man. Can't be mad that you're not getting the results you want if you're not doing the work that you got to do. Sips tea. It's coffee, but GK coffee this morning. Okay. So my thoughts on NZD. I like that it's playing out of like an extreme, like outside zone. However, I still think I prefer taking a buy, letting Australian work its way down to here. Like AUD still has this gap that it never filled from New York session. and it still has that spike down that I think he can get down to. I could be playing this a little bit over cautiously, but these are the correlations. Like these move together, 6A, 6N, so AUD, NZD. It is what it is. Juicino, what's good, bro? What's up, man? It's good to see you on here, man. A legend, the OG. Elene, what's good, bro? How are you? Sending you and the fam some love. All right, so yeah, so I'm gonna wait. Despite 6N, a lot of these are getting near those zones too, so I understand wanting to take out some positions with the dollar, especially euro is trading way out here. So I think it's coming. I think reversals are coming. I don't really look at the DXY. It's for me, well, not even for me. Factually, the DXY is just a reflection. Oh, shit, dude. Look at me. As if I know what I'm doing or something. Crazy. But the DXY is a reflection. About 56% of it is just what euro is doing. So a massive misconception is that the DXY is what leads the dollar, but the DXY is just an average of basically, okay, what's the euro doing against the dollar? What's the pound, the yen, etc. So I don't necessarily think the DXY is the best indication of the dollar. It's an indication, kind of. It can guide you, but it's not 100, you know. So, anyways, no surprise, DXY is reflecting what the euro is showing too. So, typically, it's like a good sign. Like, all right, cool. Dollar could start to lose some strength, especially now that it's coming towards 100, major level, etc. So I do think we're going to see a reversal with the dollar soon. It just doesn't have to be in this instant. And I am okay with, you know, possibly missing out on something because there are certain, I would say, red flags for me. So I'm okay with that. And but if you all have, you know, you're like, well, I don't really think about those things, and I just look at my chart and I take it and it's working for me, then do it, right? Don't let me get in your way. So, cool. Majors, I don't have time-sensitive entries. I'll be patient. So even with NZD, I think you could still go lower anyways. And maybe things line up. You know, maybe there's like, they're all kind of coming together around the same time. So, cool. We'll keep that in mind. We just had this alert go off on YM. All right. So, Dow Jones. So this is now approaching where, you know, you see the spike. This clears out liquidity from, and then a lot of liquidity, right? This took out tons of buyers. We had a full week worth of retail buys here that got swept, and now we're getting into the zone. Now, typically, if all I would looked at was one asset, and then, okay, cool, yeah, you could look for a buy. I would probably be looking for a buy around 47,550, but I don't just look at an asset. I look at an asset class. So I look at Dow, but then I look at the homie. Okay, all right, well, what's NQ doing? So what's going on over here? NQ also dropping. All right, so this is also aggressive movement to the downside. And now NASDAQ is approaching just some of the London session lows. I mean, we're not even getting below the London session low. We're not even trading towards Asian session yet. So we got a long way to go here with NQ. I don't feel the need to take a position with Dow. I think that it's working its way down much more aggressively, so Dow wouldn't be the pick for me. I actually prefer sells with Dow, with YM over here, if we work our way back to this zone. So I would stay out. I'm cool. This is how it would play out for me. So structure, the confirmations would be, first and foremost, we have understanding how we're moving higher time frame. So of course, we're in a bullish market. Check. We have small time frames that are looking more and more. It's failing to create bullish demand. So we're on both sides. Here, Dow failed to make a bearish trend. Here, it failed to make a bullish trend. So in reality, we're just basically moving sideways. However, on the 5-minute, now we're starting to see lower lows, lower highs, lower lows with demand, lower highs. So that's what we want to see now. In order to take a position here, I would want to see more of this. And then however, but just something sustainable. And then eventually we can work our way further down. So it looks like this is kind of looking like the case at the moment. Big picture, we may keep pushing down, and this might be what pushes NQ either down to here or down to this imbalance that we haven't gone back to. This doesn't, like, people always say, like, oh, you know, the market's just going to go fill a gap. Typically, yes, but it doesn't mean it's going to do it right away. This could take months. Sometimes it only takes a week or two. Sometimes it happens the same week. But obviously, you want to play off of what the market is showing you, not just what you want to see, not just what you initially your first theory is, and then, you know, you're kind of just doing that. Okay, now let's take a look at gold. Moving on to metals. Keep cracking the whip. That's wild. What's up, bro? So gold, we saw. This is probably not nice. So let's zoom out real quick. Clearly, the daily was on an absolute rampage. Just a rampage. Look at this thing. Just sent it from like 33 to 4,400. Wild. And then you know, we've seen reversals out of these zones. We've gotten good efficiencies. Now what it looks like to me, after we kind of worked our way down, especially more on the 4 hour, I think it looks clear. 4 hour had a good structure here. It briefly broke below this 4 hour low. So you saw it crack below here, just for the market to come back. Dropped again, came back, dropped again. It's withstanding the structure significantly better over here. So the lack of demand that we're seeing below 44,000 basically, below 39, let's say 60. This is giving me more signs that we should keep pushing higher from gold now. And that does start to line up a bit more with seasonality. Typically, quarter four likes to be the beginning of a nice bullish movement. So I would love to be positioned for a swing trade. Some intraday stuff for sure, but I'd like to hold a swing trade for an extended period of time. This buy here did not trigger me by a little bit, which was a little annoying, I'm not gonna lie. But that's cool. We can still find our way in, and honestly, it would actually be a better stop as well. Have a tighter stop, better risk reward. So let's see if we can get into these lower levels. I'll walk you guys through what I'm seeing now on the smaller time frame. Before I do that, let me just want to have indices pulled up here. Just so I can quickly navigate this when the time comes. Okay, now I got it here. Sweet. So, with gold, on Wednesday, Asian session, we see a nice sweep below, market rallies, and has sustained price action above, up here in this range. Sure, we're not getting the most, we're not seeing the market sustain above this high, but we have withheld from dropping back into this area for quite some time. There are some signs the market should be coming back here at some point. Plenty of liquidity built up over here. So, retail's only going to get wins for so long. So I do think we work our way back to this level in the future. And then we can take a look at silver. Silver as well, pretty bullish and still ranging below 49. So I have two scenarios that I like. Either we're going to get good buys on gold or we're going to get buys on silver. Both of these looking enticing. So let me share these. We'll keep an eye out on both and see what, just kind of how the market, if the market drops, how are we working our way back down to these areas? So I'll place alerts here. And so this is gold buy scenario. So metals, so we have gold buy scenario. And then let me just give context here. Looking for swing / position trade here. Okay. Silver buy scenario. And then silver, got to zoom out a little bit more. There you have it. Okay. And then I'll get you guys the images. I can't have you working too hard, Got the images for you guys. Make it nice and easy. Okay. And then, so that's metals, right? Metals are good. I don't really see too many shorts. I don't have any setups for shorts. So, yeah, I'm not really looking to short any metals here. Let's see. I haven't looked at other metals, to be honest. So, and I don't have them pulled up here for futures contracts. Is XPT platinum or palladium? I think it's platinum, right? Thanks, Mike. I'm more of a picture book kind of guy. I would never have known. Okay. Oil. How we feel about oil, guys? How do we feel about oil? Interesting. Nice little sweep here. Okay. Market rallies. Trades higher, drops, trades back up again. We see Asian session, full session worth of price action above previous highs. Okay, this looks good to me. I say this is enough. I wanted to see BTC trade into potential spring, but it looks like we might not get it. All right, yeah, we can take a look at that. Let me look at oil here, and then we can check that out too. So oil looks like it did already dip into this imbalance. Let me get a little bit more precise. Here was that sweep, some choppiness right there, tagged right into this last push down. So that looks good. Yeah, this looks solid. I think oil can give us some buying opportunities here. Sells, pretty choppy. I don't know if I'd go for shorts quite yet. Here we had pre-New York take that out and then drop, but then it came right back in. So for now, yeah, I think this looks like a clean setup. We could see oil go here, and then where could that take us to? Depends on how ambitious you want to be. This could go all the way up here. Considering how much it's been ranging, because this has basically been squeezing for about a week, I'm sure we're going to get a breakout pretty soon. So if we do get into buys with oil, I believe that I'm open to letting this kind of rip. Since we've been squeezing about a week or so, then yeah, this looks good. So I'm sure some of you guys had this one lined up too, or maybe one of you even brought it up, and that's why I looked at this earlier last week. So I'm down, and then I'm also open to holding this, letting it rip for a bit. So I'm gonna be a little aggressive, not with risk, but with reward. So letting this kind of rally, I'm cool with that. So I'm gonna kind of leave it open. I'd say I'll look for more of a 1 hour or 15-minute extension type of situation here. I'm cool with that. So having it play into this imbalance over here. So let's see. The risk is like these types of plays can be tipped like 8 Rs. Or more. Looks like a little more than that. Yeah, playing right into the zone. I'll take it into here. Okay, oil. Got you. And I'll say, due to almost 7-day squeeze, I'll let this one run. Okay. Put the picture, please. Corey, you killing me. It's here, bro. I got you. Don't worry. Don't you worry, pal. Don't you worry. Okay. Oil check. How are we looking with okay, we got news here in 4 minutes. Dollar news. All right, so let's actually go back and take a look at some of these currencies real quick. Let's see here. Man, crypto's getting its ass beat. Played down into here. Oh, I didn't mark this up. Dang, why didn't I mark this up? Well, that's unfortunate. Well, here was the mitigation on Bitcoin. There you have it, folks. That played out of here into the imbalance. Nice little rejection. Excellent. Next stop here. This is also a nice short right out of here. Some of you crypto traders had a good short on Bitcoin from like 110.8. And then now looks like came back down, rebalanced. Off it goes again. So the test here, if it does continue to rally, is going to be what the market does back around 110.500. If this continues to push higher. Otherwise, if we do go a leg down, then this is what I'm looking at down here, around under 105.600. If we push another notch down, that's going to be the case. Okay, what's indices? What are indices doing? Okay, great. So avoid it, right? We got to avoid anything Dow related. Fantastic. Hopefully you kind of can see my perspective on why we don't force these setups, especially when you have failed bullish confirmation here. So we saw when this is no demand. Now we have Dow pushing lower and lower. For me, I think we're going to end up clearing this liquidity. Maybe this pulls us in towards a NQ buy somewhere, or we just end up shorting Dow later on. But relating to NASDAQ positions, like, can we get into something? you have a little bit here. Like, for example, the market closed here on Friday, and then it gapped up to here, filled some imbalance, and then rallied some more, came back down. So here's the Asian session low, little push down, and the market moved on up. So here's the 1 minute. Here's the gap. Market starts here. It actually does drop about 15 points. So you can see it does come back down. It does fill a little bit, and then it rallies. I'm offline, for real. Look good here. Y'all can hear me, right? Good? All right. That's weird. Strange. Okay, so news hits. And then what does that do with majors? Fills some of the gap. Plays the structure, so it's been pushing higher. NZD, same thing. Just missed me. So if anyone made the decision to take a position there, looks like you're up. I did not take this. This was not legit. This was I wanted it to go lower, which I'm cool with. So if you did take 6N, I would go break even. I think we end up pushing lower anyways, but if you did take it, I would say you got a pretty good reversal. So why not like protect your capital? All right, indices working their way further down. As you guys can see, now Dow clearing that low. Look at this move. Smaller pump to the upside for Dow, but it's been crashing so much more. So just taking a look here at the current structure that we're seeing. Because NQ does take this out and then drop as well. So we have this in motion. What we don't know, and this is a possibility, is we could see Dow reverse faster, and then we may have an NQ short. But if I were to guess right now, I would say there's a better chance that Dow is the sell. But this is definitely still a possibility. So here is a possibility with NASDAQ for sells. It's not my priority right now. I think it's more likely that we get Dow selling. Okay, so another push down. Deeper into liquidity, into imbalance over here. This was the gap from the 24th. Okay. Okay, cool. Let that ride. Bitcoin's good. What about ETH? ETH broke below. That. So ETH dropping. It got into the zone first as well, which is why you would avoid that trade. Liquidity over here. All right. Here was Thursday, Mexican peso mitigation. I wanted lower entry. The risk reward wasn't there for me to take that high. So I didn't. Anyone still holding peso? No? Y'all chilling? Chilling. Chilling. Gold, silver. Okay. All right. Now, let's move on. Let's take a look at We talked about Bitcoin. What are stocks doing? How are stocks trading today? Webull back under 11. We got Lucid. Remember, this is the high risk position for stocks. I picked some up on what was it? Thursday maybe or Wednesday? But this is the one where, I was like, look, I'm going to scoop this, and because I'm like DCAing into this because I know that it can be more volatile. So scooping a little bit up, we have another 3-4% discount today. Perfect. We got this imbalance over here. So this is one where I think, the volatility speaks for itself, and it could drop even another 10%. I mean, for all we know, it can go even further, right? This doesn't necessarily have to be the end. But risk reward wise, I'm cool with this. Like, I'm cool with letting this ride because reward wise, this could go up substantially. Trading at 17 when it's seen better days. Like this traded in the 400s, 500s, almost 600s. So RR wise, very much there. However, it's not it's not going to be a big part of my portfolio or anything like that. Nice. Go hit the gym. Get it. Cool. So that's looking good. Amazon jumped. Tesla jumped. Look at Nike. Nike almost back at an entry that I wanted. The gap fill is real. Look at this. Look at this exit. Come on now. That TP though. Okay. Nike entries coming soon. All right. Typically, this is what I was looking at. All right, so we already did that. Wrote this out for like a little under 30%, I think it was, or about 30. And then gonna look to ride this out again here once we get to like 62, sub 63. We're like just about there. DCA in this. So I'll just pull this up. Here's what I'm gonna be looking at. So here, dollar cost average below here. And then my next target is going to be over here. Okay. Anyone trade options here? And that's like on the stream? Any options traders? I don't know if Ozzy's on. I know you trade options. Chewy. I'm down on Chewy. This one I am down on. Rip. I haven't picked any up in a bit. Let's see. Where are we at now? How far can we go here? What am I willing to withstand here? 4-hour structure. Could be one of those brief breaks below into this before continuation. And then also, the question becomes, I think I'm averaged in around like 35 or 30, like around here. How much drawdown are you willing to see out before you either want to let go or you just ride it out and then withstand whatever? But I don't have too much of this, so I'm not really too concerned. Nice TP on Etsy. beyond gutted. Oh, here's a new one. Here's one that I was keeping that I'm interested in is in Yum. Yum Brands. These guys own like KFC, Taco Bell, etc. So looks like we're kind of building up liquidity here. I think we're going to gap down. I think we're going to get good earnings reports, but it'll gap down, so it's going to confuse the hell out of people, and then we'll see this rip. But something like this, I think there's an easy 20-30% here to catch. So if those of you interested here, you can check that out. Continuing here to build up. So look at Lulu. Remember how we talked about how I wanted to see if we were going to get strong demand above these highs, which we didn't. So I think we're going to go, I think we're going to actually push lower, and we're going to get our original targets over here with Lululemon. Amy, you trade options? Still learning? Cool. Wow. Beyond drawdown at this point for some. Dude, good exit on your end. What a savage. Yeah, I didn't actually go and look into this, so I'm not really looking at much there. GME, haven't picked up any GME in a long time. I'm not in this. Looks like liquidity needs to be swept. I've been waiting for this to go under like 1780, and then we can catch a nice little meme stock pump. Does options require more capital? Not necessarily. There's just a lot of factors to it, and I just haven't given it the attention to learn, to be honest. Okay, so I did pick up Chipotle. Picked up Lucid. Gonna add a little more exposure to this, and then Snapchat as well. Looking to add Yum here. Okay. All right, let's go take a look back at what else is going on over here. NQ eating up this imbalance fill from London Sesh. Nice. Not really somewhere where I would typically buy or anything, so cool. They're pulling back pretty similarly. Yeah, I mean, I'm not gonna. I think this. I'll wrap it up around here. I think we have just waiting for the markets to get to our zones. Set your alerts. Check in. Started dipping into options. Got 2 contracts at the moment. And what? What are you 2 contracts in for? So yeah, I'm gonna wait for the zones. You know, I know many smart money traders would have looked for a buy on Dow, probably got clapped. So saved yourself some money there, which is fantastic. We love that. And then at this point, I'm not necessarily looking for buys or anything. I'm just gonna sit this one out and wait for the market to work its way high and just kind of keep the bear running. With that being said, guys, we have some new stuff that's out now on the store. So if you guys want to check that out, feel free to do so. We are going to start the inner workbook, Breaking the Habit of Breaking Your Plan. We're going to start the inner workbook book club on the 11th. And then you guys can also learn more about that here as well. Check that out in here. So we do have some pretty sick stuff that you guys can go check out. You know, we do these streams for the free ski. Reading the Stocks Made Simple playbook right now. Nice. Enjoy that. Yeah, if you do want to check that out, you can go to the resources section here. There's a whole bunch of free resources for you guys. And things like that. There's I think the mouse pad's over here. I don't know if was it supposed to be here in the resources section? All right. But anyways, a whole bunch of cool stuff here. A lot of them are totally free. Trading journal, the inner workbook. This thing is so sick. I think we should add a bit more on the inside what it looks like. But yeah, this is all like for you to actually work through. So you guys can check that out. But yeah, we'll drop a bit more detail on this. And then, but yeah, anyways, if you're not in the, and let me post this before I forget. If you're not in the community's free. There's an abundance of resources here. Our goal is for y'all to just be able to like literally learn everything you can possibly imagine. If you put the work into it yourself, you should be able to do that. Now, of course, that'll take time. That will take you being very much dialed in. Obviously, there's a lot that you have to figure out on your own, but it's not impossible by any means. And if you do want to accelerate the process, you know, we do offer more of a personalized approach to that. So feel free, guys, to check out the abundance of resources that are here. Use them to your advantage. Make a plan around them. It is the first Monday of November. You have less than 60 days to turn this 2025 into something that remotely looks like what you planned on it to look like. So if you ever want to kick yourself in the ass, go look at whatever you wrote at the beginning of the year and see how close or far away you are to that person. Go do that. And then you have enough time to get closer or beyond that goal anyways. So if you want to join the free community, guys, scan that code on the left. And then if you want to be more involved, have a personalized approach, something that is really, really feedback oriented, scan the code on the right. That's our 1-year program. Make sure you're doing that if you're someone that's just serious about this. If you're here kind of just fucking around, then, don't scan that. But if you're committed, that's the play right there. So I'll see you guys again tomorrow. We'll be here, do what we do. I'll be active in the Tradetopia community if we have any setups getting close, if I take anything. And then, as always, we appreciate you guys being on here and taking advantage of what you got. So are the sweats a baggy style? Yeah, they're a little baggy. They're not like 90s baggy, but they're a little baggy. Yeah, it's like true to size, true to your fit, for sure. They're sick. The oversized is definitely the Trade for Freedom shirt. The keychains are sold out. It says they're sold out on this way. And then the Stoic Discipline shirt here. So let me just point these out for you guys. Yeah. Yeah, so these are good. Like the Discipline shirt is, would you say it's oversized? Yeah. It's a little oversized. The Memento Mori shirt is a little oversized, but we have the what's it called? Like drop shoulder? Yeah, those are all drop shoulder. But if you want like a nice fitted one, that's coming out here soon. We finally found the right one. It took a minute. And then we only have a few more hats left. So once this one is done, this one's done forever. So once this one's sold out, the Welcome to Tradetopia hat is a wrap. And then the beanie fit is like pretty tight. It fits pretty tight. Snug, for sure. Snug. And then, for all the Dow daddies out there, there's your hat. And then if you want the motivational mouse pad here, Tradetopia, 1 trade at a time. That one's available for you guys too. So anyways, guys, enjoy the rest of your day. Keep working on yourselves and see you tomorrow. Peace.